final element of the AQA speaking exam is the photo card and conversation. So you'll be given at the beginning of your 15-minute preparation time, you'll be given a card with 2 photos on it, and you need to describe both photos. And they will both be black and white, and they'll be on a range of 2 of the 3 available themes. And you'll need to describe both photos to be able to access the top scoring band. So then your teacher/examiner will say to you, háblame de las fotos, and then that will mean obviously talk to me about the photos, and then after you've described the photos you'll go on to the conversation. Foundation and higher have the same photos, but the difference is the timing. So for example, foundation can be, you should be talking for around 1 minute and then have a conversation for 3 to 4 minutes afterwards. And then higher should be around 1.5 minutes describing the photos, and then a conversation of 4.5 to 5.5 minutes. So when you're looking at the photos, you might be sitting there thinking, what on earth can I say about these things that's going to make sense? So then Palma is a really good way to, and feel free to screenshot this as well, or, get in touch with me. I can easily send this to you. But this is a really good idea for describing. So if you're stuck on what to say, then use this little acronym. So people, action, location, mood, and then if applicable, weather. That's not always applicable. For example, if they're in a cinema, in a restaurant, bowling alley, whatever, you don't know what the weather's like. And then you can use any of these different options. So en la imagen, en la foto, hay, veo, se puede ver, la foto muestra, and then all the English of those is there. And then you can go into saying what these different things are. So again, choose the ones and learn the ones that you maybe find easiest to remember or easiest to pronounce. So for example, unos niños, una familia, mucha gente, unos edificios. In the first one, for example, you'd say un avión. And then what are they doing? Using the present continuous tense. So está or están, and then whatever they're doing. And then the location, where are they? Están en una ciudad, en el campo, en un pueblo. So if you struggle with the word ciudad to pronounce it, then maybe just use pueblo or un pueblo grande. And then these are really, really nice to use. So go into a bit more detail. En el primer plano, al fondo, a la izquierda. That's again a tricky word to say, so avoid that one if you don't want to say that one. El a la derecha, cerca de, and delante de. And then how do they seem? So parece is a really nice word to learn for, for yourself. You can say me parece for it seems to me, or me parecen is they seem to me. And then make sure that agree. So if you're talking about more than one person, then contentos or tristes or whatever it is. And then have a think about what the weather looks like. Obviously it's black and white, so that can be tricky sometimes. So you can say creo que or pienso que hace sol. Maybe you could mention which season you think it is. So if they're skiing, creo que hace frío, quizás es invierno. So so you could say, for example, about these photos here, hay 3 personas, 2 hombres y una mujer, están en un aeropuerto, están de vacaciones, están famosos, quizás. And then, they seem pretty happy, me parecen contentos. Están viajando, están hablando, están sonriendo. And then creo que hace sol. Okay, that would be enough detail for foundation. And then here, hay 5 personas, hay 5 jóvenes y están jugando al fútbol. Están en un parque, están en una escuela, están en un instituto, están en un polideportivo, y me parecen contentos, felices, deportistas también. And then finally for the weather, again, it's tricky to say for this one, creo que, and try and vary the weather. So you've said hace sol here, so say creo que hace calor, okay, or creo que hace fresco. They're wearing jeans, so it might be, it's tricky to say, but as long as you get the Spanish right, it kind of can be right, okay. And then this is the mark scheme. So this is the foundation mark scheme, first of all. And this is really important to point out. So you must talk about both photos, but coverage need not be equal. So you might want to say more about one of the photos. There's more to say about one of the two photos. But if you do only speak about one photo, then there's a deduction of 1 mark out of the 5. So yeah, make sure obviously you're talking about both of them. And the differences between foundation and higher is quite a lot of information is conveyed, some information, but it sometimes here, for example, lacks clarity from time to time. Then down to 2, little information is conveyed, and then very little. And then it goes to higher, a lot of information is conveyed, and nearly always conveyed clearly, and quite a lot of information. And then so it's basically about how much you've communicated and how accurate that communication is. And then you'll go on to have your conversation, which I'll do another video about. Okay, hope that helps. Get in touch with any information if you need to ask any questions. Adios.